Coming up, we bring back an old segment, an original segment from the Knife Junkie podcast. I get a haul of incredible custom knives on loan from a listener, and we're going to talk about pocket fixed blade knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. This is the Knife Junkie podcast.
Welcome to the Knife Junkie podcast, your weekly dose of knife news and information about knives and knife collecting. Here's your host, Bob the Knife Junkie DeMarco.
Welcome back to the show. From last week's episode, some great comments. This one from Lone Wolf. He says, "Great collection, Bob. I especially enjoyed seeing the vintage knives from the 90s. You've inspired me to dig out my collection of cold steel Voyagers. Salud," he says. Well, salud to you, sir. That episode was all about my cold steel Voyager collection. Next was from That Slow Draw Feel. And he says, "I can't stop collecting cold steels." I feel you. I feel you. That's my situation. Insane performance and value. Even the new ones can't be beat with all their shortcomings. I know it's not Lynn's signature, but the Rawls Voyager XL Tanto kind of fits into the family. It's a weird one with that chisel grind and excessive billboarding, but I was still glad to add it to my collection. Well, That Slow Draw Feel, I've been looking for that one ever since I passed it up way back when. And I thought I found one on eBay, and then doing a little research, I realized it had to be a clone. So that really bummed me out. But I've been looking for that Rawls Tanto on and off. He had a very famous survival blog called, I think, The Survival Blog, and he teamed up with Lynn Thompson to come out with that XL Tanto Voyager. So cool. Glad you have one in your collection. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening and commenting. It's always great to read your comments, and thanks for doing so. All right, that said, let's get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
In my front right pocket today, I had the very cool and new from APOC Survival Tools, Breeden Whisper 2. As you can easily tell, this is inspired by Japanese knives here. You have a handle that's evocative of that Ito wrap style with the diamond shapes here, the diamond cutaways in that black micarta, peeking through to that beautiful maroon G10. I just really like this knife. I got 3 knives from APOC recently, and they're all in this Breeden line. Breeden being the designer, and they're all on this Japanese theme. He even designed a great big sort of sheep's foot katana type tactical sword that I've seen on other people's channels. All very, very cool stuff. But I really like this knife. Ultra smooth action. I mean, it is crazy smooth action and really sharp. And I'm a big fan of that traditional Japanese Tanto blade shape. So great knife. Also, really cool clip. I love that cherry blossom there on the tip of the clip. Very nice. Also, I've been carrying this one in the waistband lately, just right up front in the appendix as a secondary knife. And that all happened by necessity. I was leaving the house one morning. I had it in my hand. I found myself at the car, and so I just slipped it in there, and I found it. It carries very nicely right there. Next up, my American Blade Works slip joint. I love this little slip joint. I don't even carry this one in a leather slip. It's just the right size to drop in the bottom of the pocket, even if it, it always inevitably sits at the bottom of the pocket in this sort of horizontal orientation like that. Usually that bugs me on a larger knife, but this is just the right size, not to irk me. A gorgeous Magna Cut sheep's foot blade with a deep hollow grind, so very, very slicey and sharp and keen on that edge. When you turn it like this, almost looks like a straight razor. And I love the handle. The whole thing, I can manage to get just about 3.5 fingers on here. Sometimes if I really squeeze it in, you could say 4 fingers on there, but just the right size, made in North Carolina, just by one man, and just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Reminds me of something Art Deco, something from the earlier bit of the 20th century. Beautiful knife. And then next up, My fixed blade knife was also Japanese inspired and kind of has the same color scheme, though that ray skin is a bit brighter. This is the Savage Creature Defense Tools Masako Hachi, and a very wicked self-defense knife, but also quite beautiful. Roger Pearson of Savage Creature Defense Tools is a former tattoo artist and an artist, and all of that translates into his beautiful Japanese-inspired knives. And woe be it to the sucker who steps to me if I'm carrying that. Just kidding, of course. And then last up is the emotional sport knife. My ESK today was the beautiful, I don't know, extremely compelling, let me say, K-Bar Doghead. I love this knife, and I wanted it. This was kind of in my Amazon cart for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger about a half year ago, and I like this better than the standard K-Bar personally. I like the guard better. I like the pommel better. It's great. And now the new Slabby is out, and that reminds me of this. I'm not really tempted at the moment to get a Slabby. It's a little pricey for my devotion to K-Bar, which is just below that level of spending nearly $300 for it. But this Slabby does it for me, and I absolutely love it. I highly recommend it, though I've done nothing with it. But if you're a camper and you're a bushcrafter, that kind of thing, and you like K-Bars, this is probably a good knife for you. All right, so this is what I had on me. Look at that handsome lineup here. The K-Bar Doghead, beautiful leather sheath, by the way. I had the Masako Hachi from Savage Creature Defense Tools. The American Blade Works slip joint, very aptly named, and then the Breeden Whisper 2 from APOC Survival. Super smooth knife. Let me know what you guys carried. Always interested to find that out. All right, special date coming up, October 1st, 2025. It's in 3 weeks. TKell Knives is yet again dropping the Agent 001. So this is the second production run of my design collaboration with Tim Kell and TKell Knives, and it is beautiful. They've upped their game. These new batches are being machined by the awesome Nick Chuprin of NCC Knives up in New Hampshire, and he is a perfectionist when it comes to machining. Look at the beauty in this knife. I mean, yes, the design is beautiful, I fully admit, but the execution here is outstanding. I get hung up on the chamfering around those jimps, just beautifully done, and around the guard down here. Really nicely done blade too, with the sort of terraced look from the milling lines there. You can also get this. It comes naturally. It comes with the Kydex sheath, but you can also order one of these beautiful Badger Claw Outfitters leather sheaths. Really stout leather. This wickedly sharp knife. I've been carrying it in this. Actually, I've been carrying this one the most. I've been carrying this with the Battle Lock grips in there in the front pocket with this, just dropping it in. And it works great. Hasn't poked through the sheath or anything like that. Now, mind you, I haven't done much rigorous with this in my pocket, but a really nice carry and draws smoothly out of that leather sheath right out of your pocket. So, and I believe this fits most of the Agent series. So you could swap around if you have numerous ones, which I highly recommend you do. But this is coming out October 1st, second production run of the TKell Knives Agent 001, my collaboration with Tim Kell Knives. I say that very proudly because Tim Kell runs one of my absolute favorite knife companies ever, and I'm honored to be working with him on that. Next up, this one was sent to me by Terzuola Design, and it's not a knife. Benedict Odie, you guys know Ben Odie from Thursday Night Knives, frequent commenter and contributor to Thursday Night Knives. Well, Terzuola Design has something new out, and it's so cool. It's right up my alley. It is this beautiful hand-thrown, handmade wheel-thrown ceramic mug. Wheel thrown, meaning it was made on a ceramics wheel. I'm going to gently place it down like this as it has no coffee in it. But absolutely gorgeous. Ships with this Terzuola branded, Terzuola Design branded leather coaster. And that is because the foot of it is ceramic and a little bit abrasive. You don't want to place this down on a fine wooden table or something like that. Might scratch it up. But let me read from Ben's letter to me, sending this prototype Terzuola for your coffee enjoyment. We are launching pre-orders for this, and I don't have a price on it, but we are launching pre-orders for this on Tuesday, September 9th. So if you're watching this the day it drops, yesterday, it was opened up, and it will be open for about a week before production begins. And interestingly enough, these are made by someone that Ben went to art graduate school with. So really, really fine. There's a maker's mark down there on the foot. And I have yet to use this. I got this yesterday as I record this. Now, I wanted to show it to you pristine before I got my grubby lips all over it. And sorry, that's gross. And now I'm going to start using this thing. But this might be my desk knife, and I'll leave this, or my desk cup, and I'll leave this on my desk, and I will always have my Terzuola mug with me. I love this. Problem is, my daughters do the dishes in this house, and they complain that I have way too many coffee mugs. They can't even fit them in the cabinet anymore, and they're to blame. They get me mugs for my birthday and stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want to start collecting these really, really nice coffee mugs from companies like Terzuola and others. So keep your eyes peeled for that. You can go to TerzuolaDesign.com to check those out and get on that pre-order. Real quick, I want to mention two new patrons. Thank you both. You two new patrons. We have John Marchell and Well Regulated. You remember Reese? He was on the show 2 weeks ago, showing off all of his beautiful V44X designs and his collection of Marine Raider Bowies. Thank you both so much for joining us on Patreon. It really, really helps. And it's an honor because you're willing to trade some of your hard-earned money to help support the show, and we greatly appreciate it. You can become a patron by going to TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon, as usually noted. What will I get if I go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon and join? You'll get a whole host of things. The Friday Funnies, Maker Mondays, or something like this, Knife Notes. September 6th's Knife Notes are 3 must-have kitchen knives, according to Martha Stewart. Say what you will about Martha Stewart. I like her personally, but she knows her business. She knows her way around the garden and around the kitchen. And she says that you need a chef's knife, a paring knife, and a bread knife. And we go through what she says those knives should, the kind of stats you should be looking for. So there's a very regular installment on Patreon. Every week you'll see some knife notes, and there's valuable information, interesting information, historical information, all information about knives. One of Jim's pet projects. I mean, he comes up with some great ideas, but great ideas are a dime a dozen. He executes magnificently. So go check us out on Patreon. Again, let me put up that QR code on the screen and let you know that all you got to do is go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon or scan this QR. By the way, John Marchell took advantage of this. You save 12% when you join for the whole year. So consider that. All right. You can also help to support the show by sharing it. TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon. TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon.
Want to sell your custom knives online? With LaunchCart, you can easily create your own e-commerce store. No coding required. LaunchCart is designed for knife makers like you, with built-in tools to showcase your craftsmanship, manage orders, and grow your brand. It's fast, flexible, and even includes low-cost payment processing to help you keep more of your profits. Start your online knife store today at TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch and turn your passion into a business.
You're listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. And now here's the Knife Junkie with the Knife Life News.
Okay, got 3 new knives to tell you about today in Knife Life News. First up, from Boker. They've been releasing a lot. This one's called the Boker Barchan. And I'm informed by Ben Schwartz of Knife News that a Barchan is a type of desert sand dune. So you can see the theme here in the knife itself. This is a big one, though, kind of a big beater. And by that, I mean a knife that you shouldn't be afraid to use and use hard. This is a 3.94 inch, so almost 4-inch drop point of 440B. Yes, 440B. It's pretty soft, but it takes a wicked edge and comes back right quick when you're sharpening or stropping it. You got a flipper and a front flipper and that fuller, presumably to open it with. I say presumably, I haven't actually handled this knife, but it looks like you could bury the fat of your middle finger in that fuller and flip the thing open. So beautiful. In its desert tan G10, it's got little peaks there that kind of evoke sand dune and also are great for grip. You got G10, you got a liner lock here, right hand deep carry pocket clip. It is not a reversible pocket clip. 4.5 ounces, so not bad there. It's kind of following that 1 ounce per inch of blade length, pretty much, and is available now. This MSRP for this knife is $47, so a paltry amount for what is no doubt a great user knife. Next up from SOG, the SOG Gambit XL. The Gambit is a Karambit, and this is a larger, more tactical version of the original SOG Gambit. More tactical, you say? How is that? Well, they've enlarged the blade after a decade of having the design out. They enlarged the blade to 4 inches, and they've improved the blade steel. They've gone from a 7CR to an AUS 10A, a steel I really like, at least on all the cold steels I have it on. It's a great steel. Skeletonized the tang, so it's a bit lighter, and they've added a paracord wrap. Olive drab paracord wrap, of course, makes it look very tactically. And then you've got that great ring there with a thumb scoop and little jimps on it, so you can arrest motion if you're doing your flippy karambit stuff. So I do like that too. A little guard there doesn't help on a knife this wicked and deadly. Kydex sheath with a belt clip, 4.75 ounces, and it's available now. Now, the MSRP on this one is $130, but no doubt you'll be able to find it for less at your favorite purveyors. All right, last up in Knife Life news from Ostap, one of my favorite Polish knife designers. He has a new one with Civivi called the Navo. And now the Navo from Civivi is an update, or what do you want to call it? A crossover from We Knife Tool. We Knife Tool We Knife Company created the Navo with Ostap in 2023 with its premium materials and such. But this one is a more EDC friendly type. You won't be afraid to carry this one in your pocket. This is a 3.25 inch drop point of Nitro V, a beautiful, beautifully simple and sleek shape there. It's got 2 little runs of jimping for the thumb. It is a liner lock with a flipper. Micarta, G10, or wood handles are the options there. Very signature looking design from Ostap. I mean, I didn't need to read that that's who designed this to know who made it. Reversible pocket clip. And this one is available soon at $76.50 MSRP. All right, we're going to get into some more stuff here. But before we do, I want to mention Instagram. As you know, in August, I got kicked off of Instagram for no reason at all, kind of mysterious. They wouldn't let me back in. I made a new account called the Knife_Junkie_podcast, and they got wise that it's the same guy. They kicked me off again. That really angered me, and I did an appeal, and they gave me more opportunities here to appeal for some reason. More ways to prove I am who I am, and so I am back on again. But an interesting thing. My wife went to DM me something, and a message popped up saying, "This is a suspicious account. We're not sure if this is the guy, so just beware." It is me. I don't know what they have against me. Maybe I was hacked. Maybe they just don't like Italians. But check me out on Instagram, Knife_Junkie_podcast. Now, with this episode, we are proud to bring back an old segment, an original segment from the original Knife Junkie podcast when we first started nearly 7 years ago. We're coming up on our 7-year anniversary here, called The First Tool, and I'm really excited to get into it.
You're listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. Here's some cool knife history with the Knife Junkie's The First Tool.
Okay. Note the Spanish Navaja, given to me by my brother. Thank you, Vito. The first tool, the Navaja of Spain. Picture Spain in the late 1700s. The streets of Andalusia are alive with music, markets, and danger. But if you look closely, tucked into the sash or pocket, you'd often find a weapon disguised as something humble, a folding knife called the Navaja. The story of the Navaja begins with restriction. Spain's ruling classes feared rebellion from the poor, and they outlawed the carrying of swords for common folk. But necessity, as always, was the mother of invention. With swords forbidden, peasants and workers turned to knives. And when the fixed blades grew too obvious, craftsmen devised something clever. A folding blade that could be hidden in plain sight, yet snap open in the blink of an eye. The Navaja was more than just a tool. It was a statement. At first, it was carried by laborers for cutting rope, food, or cloth. But in the back alleys and smoky taverns, it quickly gained another reputation as the blade of gamblers, smugglers, and fighters. Its long, slender profile, often locking with a loud, unmistakable ratcheting click, earned it the nickname the poor man's sword. That sound alone could freeze an opponent, the promise of violence folded neatly into the pocket. Some Navajas were plain and practical, but others were lavish works of art. Engraved blades bore mottos like, "Don't draw me without reason, don't sheathe me without honor." Handles were decorated with horn, bone, or silver, transforming a weapon into a status symbol. To draw such a knife wasn't just to fight, but it was to declare pride, defiance, and independence. By the 19th century, the Navaja had become integral to Spanish culture and crime. Bandits along highways carried them. Duels were fought with them. Even flamenco, also born in Andalusia, carried echoes of the Navaja's swagger, its dramatic flourishes evoking knife play. Yet, over time, the Navaja faded into respectability. It became a regional emblem, a traditional gift, a reminder of Spain's turbulent past. Today, collectors treasure them not only for their beauty, but for their story and the story they tell, of a people who found ways to resist oppression with ingenuity and who turned necessity into an art form. The Navaja is more than steel and wood. It's a rebellion folded into a pocket, a reminder that when the sword was taken away, the knife stepped forward and left its mark on Spanish history.
Adventure Delivered, your monthly subscription for hand-picked outdoor, survival, EDC, and other cool gear from our expert team of outdoor professionals. TheKnifeJunkie.com/battlebox.
Now, with that dramatic read soaking in, I want to show you 4 amazing folders that were loaned to me by a very generous and trusting James, who's a watcher, listener. And James, I really, really appreciate these. They are positively gorgeous and all outside of my price range, my reach right now. And so it's an honor to check these out. The first 2 are 2 models of the same knife, or 2 versions of the same model, I should say, from Sean O'Connell. And he's a guy I've been following on Instagram for quite a while. And these are his mini Gs. I'm going to start with this one. This one is a, look at that. It's called the Mini G. It's a compound ground tanto and just positively beautiful. Look at this thing. I love the downward angle of that blade, really accelerating the cutting. Not that I've cut with this, but just a beautiful design and looks extremely practical. Though if this were mine, I'm sure it would be a safe queen. But this one is Magna Cut Sanmai and engraved titanium. Look at that steel. Magna Cut Sanmai. So it looks like Damascus to me, but it says Sanmai. And look at that beautifully engraved fleur-de-lis sort of pattern on the handle, on this titanium handle. Just an absolute masterpiece here. I invited Sean onto the show about 6 months ago, and he had a lot of stuff going on. He said, I'd love to come on, but it can't be for a while. So having these in hand, it reminded me, and I reached back out to him. Hopefully he'll come on the show. Here's the other version. Now, this one is Magna Cut and Carbo Tie and titanium. So titanium on this side and Carbo Tie, which I'm not really even sure what it is. Come to think of it, is this carbon fiber and titanium mixed together? They can do all sorts of stuff today, but I'm not sure. Now look down in here. Look at the detail on the inside of the back spacer. On the outside, it's just plain sort of blasted titanium. On the inside, it's got that beautiful polishing and patterning. Really incredible action on these. Handmade. This one has skiff bearings. I guess they both have skiff bearings. They feel, I was assuming that they were washer style knives. I love the jimping too. Little jimps punctuated by large jimps. And then there's the O'Connell maker's mark on top. Gorgeous knives. And he makes some other really cool models as well. So check out Sean O'Connell on Instagram. That's where I follow him. Next up, this one I wanted when we first talked about it right here on the show. This is a RJ Martin Shirogorov collaboration. I love RJ Martin knives. I absolutely love them. They're way outside my reach unless we're talking about the real inexpensive Kershaw collaboration he's done. This one with Shirogorov just is sublime, knocks it out of the park. This is called the Denim Overkill. So Overkill is the model. This one has denim micarta on this side and on this side, and just a beautiful knife. Look at that deep well there for that gorgeous clip to sink into. You've got micro milled titanium and a gorgeous S90V drop point blade. Very, very signature RJ Martin design here and profile. That blade is about 4.1 inches, so a perfect size as far as I'm concerned. Gear backspacer, sunken jimping here. That looks almost like a Pinkerton style jimping on the handle. And then up here, it's got a nice thumb ramp. I mean, this thing, the ergonomics is just dreamy, or are just dreamy, I should say. And the blade grind is flawless. So I'm hugely excited to be able to check this one out. So thank you for this. Now, the reason James reached out to me originally was to see if I wanted to check out this knife. This is the Grailer 4 from Grailer Knives. And I'll tell you what the specs are in just a second. I have a little spec sheet. But this is a custom version of the Genesis 2.1, a knife made by Dutch knife maker Michael Grailer. And this thing is really well made, as you might expect from We Knife. It is a liner lock and has just perfect fit and finish. Really, really sweet. It's a CPM 20 CV at 60 to 61 HRC. Blade length is about 3.6 inches or 88 millimeters. Two-tone satin, grade 5 titanium, OD grade G10, and ceramic bearings. This thing is really cool, and I got to be 100% honest, I had never heard of Grailer knives before, but now definitely on my radar. Really nice ergos on this. Feels great in hand. Let me show you the backside. Really nice clip and very comfortable, almost pistol grip style profile on the handle. Grailer knives. I'll be doing close-up videos of all three of these knives. So keep your eyes peeled, or all four of these knives. So keep your eyes peeled. All right. All right, before we get into our main topic of conversation on this day, I just want to remind you of two things. We have a newsletter that we put out nearly every week, and it's a quick newsletter with some beautiful pictures, just kind of letting you know what's on my knife mind, but also it's a way to keep in touch with you. If heaven forbid we're kicked off Instagram again, or oh my gosh, if that happened on YouTube, I'd be an angry boy. So sign up for the newsletter just so we can keep in touch. We send once a week, and you know, it's not a We're not trying to push anything on you. We just want to keep in touch. So check it out at TheKnifeJunkie.com/newsletter. And then also Thursday Night Knives. Please join us for Thursday Night Knives. Actually, that's the gateway to this show and the interview show oftentimes, but it is a great 2-hour chat, 2-hour live stream on Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's so fun. I've met so many great people on that show, and not even in person, but I feel like I know you all just from your personalities and your likes and dislikes and the things we talk about in the comments. Jim does an awesome job of feeding me comments constantly, so I'm just talking at you, with you, and it is a great time. So be sure to join us there. Okay, one last thing, and that is our merch. We have a great shop, TheKnifeJunkie.com/shop. This is Jim's design for this week. Professional knife toucher, don't try this at home. So you can get this awesome, funny logo and beautiful artwork on a hat, on a tote bag, T-shirt, all sorts of mugs, and you know, the like. I like the aprons because I make my dog's dog food every other week on the Blackstone griddle, and it spatters all sorts of fat on me. So grilling season, you need that apron. So go check it out at TheKnifeJunkie.com/shop. And I will remind you, if you want the legacy logo, you got to go all the way back to page 21. So go check that out. Go check it all out. All right, guys, let's get into pocket carry fixed blade knives. So fixed blade knives on an EDC level have been a big trend. This is a trend that a lot of people have identified. We talked about this on Thursday Night Knives recently. I asked people what they thought the most prevalent new trends were in knives, and you know, by a huge margin, it was fixed blade, pocket carry fixed blade knives. And so I decided I'd go through my collection, and I have a number of them here. I have a few others that from some of the brands that you'll see here that I didn't want to be redundant with. So, but I still have a lot to show you. So let's get to it. First up, and the one that really got my attention first, was the Amtac Blades Northman. Comes in this sheath. Now I have replaced it, or have added to it, with this Armis knife and tool sort of deeper sheath that is ambidextrous. But this ambidextrous sheath that comes straight from Amtac Blades is really cool and innovative. It's got a ferro rod on the side here. It's got a sort of Velcro area where you could hide things like a, I don't know, handcuff key or a razor blade or a $100 bill or whatever it is urban survivalists hide on their person. And then it's got this deep in the pocket sheath, so only about that much of the handle is sticking out. Easy to resheath just by following the clip. You don't have to pull it out and put it back in. Pull the sheath out of your pocket. You can just slide down the clip. This is the blade. The Amtac Northman is a little small, and I have medium-sized hands, I got to say, but they make a larger version, which might be more your druthers, but a really, really comfortable and effective do-all knife. This, you might look at this and think that is survival. I mean, that is a tactical knife all day long, self-defense knife, and yeah, definitely works well for that, especially with that pommel, that hooked pommel. That makes it real easy to retrieve this, whether in standard grip or reverse grip. And you look at that very, very sharp and pointy blade. But this is also marketed as and designed as a do-all knife. So the knife you have on you, if you, heaven forbid, find yourself in a survival situation, because you do have that ferro rod and other features on it. Really comfortable blade. Now this one is M390 blade steel, and quite expensive. This is quite a pricey knife. Full disclosure, this was a gift from my father after he read the terminal list, and this knife was mentioned in that very gear-heavy book and series. Jack Carr loves gear and loves writing about it, and so my dad called me and my brother, and he was all like, "I got to get you this knife," and I was like, "Okay," and but it is quite pricey, so beware if you like this knife. There might be other options that float your boat just as much. Serial number 1169, M390 blade steel. Jimping as much jimping as the day is long. And then the Armis knife and tool mini VSK sheath fits this beautifully. So I picked this up and I really like it. Actually, this is what I use more often than the original sheath. All right, next up from Tom Nugent and Knives by Nuge. This is an awesome knife. This is the Primitive Wicket XL. You remember the Primitive Wicket neck knife that I carry a lot, especially in the summertime? Well, this is the larger version of that. Comes in this beautiful ambidextrous pocket sheath with the DCC style clip on it. And there is the blade. The primitive style wickets have the jute wrapped handle, which Tom is a master at these jute wrappings. Really love these. And they're very thin, but quite grippy. The handle is broad enough that the thinness of the handle does not affect handling when using the knife. The primitive models also have this Scandinavian grind here for great woodworking, for a great woodworking edge. I'm just in love with this knife. I did add this little leather fob so it was easier to retrieve from the pocket, because having a great sheath like this, it does bury down in there pretty deeply. So this just helps me with the finger here, with the pinky. I can just draw it, and there I have it right there in hand. There's his logo, Knives by Nuge. Check out Knives by Nuge on Instagram. That reminds me, I have to re-follow him. Now that I have a new account, I have to re-follow everyone I was following, which is a pain in the tuchus, but hey, first world problems, right? Next up is from a company that sadly no longer exists, the Dylan Grace Blade Company, or DG Blade Co. You're going to recognize this from the Kydex-like leather sheaths he did. So great at making sheaths. Dylan, come back. He made some really cool, somewhat primitive looking knives as well. This one I bought right from him at Blade Show 2021 or 22, can't remember, but a beautiful pocket scalpel. So really nice modified sheep's foot blade, modified in that it has a swedge and a very pointy point, 3 jimps there, and then a gorgeous Buckeye burl handle. Not only was I drawn to this one in particular because of the beauty of this handle, but I'm also from Ohio, and that's the Buckeye state. So I figured, it's meant to be. So you see the Buckeye burl there. Of course, burl wood has a lot of voids, and so the common practice is to fill those voids with beautifully colored epoxy, and that's what was done here. Nice, rough, forged out blade. Rough meaning it's got a brute to forge look to it. It's not, it's a very sharp and keen and well done blade. Really, really sharp, but rough in its appearance. Rustic, I should say, in its appearance. And then again, like I said, if you can find a DG Blade Co. knife on the secondary market, I would go for it. These sheaths are practically worth the price of admission. He used a certain special process that he described when he was on the show, where these things lock in like Kydex. Really, really nice and stout fit there. So highly recommend you check out DG Blade Co. and see if you can find anything out there. Next up is from FN Knives, another viewer of the show. You should really check out FN_Knives on Instagram. Again, IG is a great way to follow knife makers, find new knife makers. That's why I was so bummed when I was kicked off. But anyway, this one is from Failed Negotiation Knives, or FN Knives, and it is a really nice little pocket TKell, and it comes in this ambidextrous sheath, much in the spirit of the sheaths we've seen so far. And then this is the knife. 1095 blade steel, nice and small. I gave one of these to my wife for jogging. It's a nice, small, light, thin option that you can just draw and use. It's got that excellent blade angle, so that if you're just punching in a back fist sort of action, that point will land right at the place you want it to. You won't have to cant your wrists in an odd way. You can just kind of punch with a back fist like this, and you've got that great blade. Chisel ground. So flat on one side, beveled on the other. An awesome little light knife. This one has been great this summer in gym shorts. And you can also put this one in the waistband too. Pretty comfortable in the waistband, though a little thick. I find these kind of ambidextrous sheaths a little thick for waistband carry. But then again, I've been losing weight, so maybe they'll start fitting a little better. DCC style clip here. Really cool stuff from Failed Negotiation Knives, or FN Knives. Oh, also the handle of this, I forgot to mention, not jute wrapped, but oh my gosh, I'm having a senior moment here. It's that that sort of bank line wrapped sheath here, so really nice. Bank line is pretty grippy, and but it's still nice and thin and light. Okay, one of the big pocket carry fixed blades from the past couple of years, probably one of the most popular, we'll say, is from this company, Fisher Blades. The Fisher brothers, awesome dudes. Chaz and John have been on the show a couple of times. Actually, Chaz was on the show when he worked for Boker, and he was a knife executive for many years. Now he's a knife executive of his own company out of Montana, making really, really cool tactical knives. I have a number of these, and then I also have the large version, and of course the McNasty, which I've been showing off a lot lately, dagger. But this one is really their signature knife. Now you can see, similar to the Northman, it has one of those deep pocket fixed blade sheaths with the extended DCC clip, discrete carry concepts clip. That's what I mean when I'm saying DCC. And so only about that much pokes out of your pocket. Here it is. These first ones, they are numbered. This is number 44 out of 230 from their very first batch. They make batches, and they make their knives in batches, and each time they do a tweak. They might change up the colorations of the blade. They also do unicorn editions, which are very limited batches with very special colorways and such. But this is an everyday defensive carry knife. This is not an EDC. This is an EDD. They really intend this knife to be used defensively because so much research and development went into making this an ideal self-defense knife. With a thumb ramp inspired by the Delica, and then a downward angled Americanized Tanto blade that really accelerates cutting and pushes material towards this secondary tip. And then it's got a center line point, an arc on the handle, which postures the knife in the most effective and efficient deep cutting sort of manner. And then you've got this great handle with the jimping all around, and the pommel that really makes it easy to grip it and rip it, take it right out of the pocket. Also, if you look at how it's angled in the sheath itself, it's canted at an angle so that when this is in the pocket, it is not stabbing into the pommel is not jamming into your hip. And this all came about when Chaz, who designed this knife and is a martial artist, and he does a lot of Chinese martial arts, was practicing with some of the people he teaches who also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And he had someone in the guard with a prototype of this, and realized without that angle, he wouldn't be able to draw the knife in the guard. That's when you're laying on your back and you have your legs wrapped around your opponent who's trying to beat the crap out of you. And this is a way to keep them at bay. But it'd be nice to be able to access that knife. So he added the angle to the blade so that it would be easy to draw, even when your knees are to your chest and you're kind of folded in half, basically. So a great everyday defensive blade, and also a very handsome knife. I really like this knife, and it's a favorite of a lot of different people who carry for self-defense. All right, next up, a very early one in my pocket fixed blade collection here is the Tops Knives FDX 66. It comes in this really stout, I'm doing that just so you can hear it, stout leather sheath, really optimized for dropping in the pocket. It does have, you do have your belt loops here. You can have it horizontal, or vertical on the belt. And then, oh, I think I jammed that in a little hard. It's starting to create a little hole there, actually. But here's the knife, Cerakoted 1095 blade steel, and a really cool design. I've noodled around. I've thought about putting a Kydex, putting a G10 or a micarta handle on this. Be easy enough to do, but it also would kind of ruin the USP of this. One of the unique selling propositions of this knife is having it ultra thin and being able to slip it in the pocket without any, what do you call it, telegraphing or any printing through the clothing. So I just put a little bit of electrician's tape on it to make it grippy, a little bit grippier, and a little bit easier to index, being a little bit fatter here. But really, it's a 3-finger knife at best, and I guess a lanyard would probably serve this well. But this is how I have it set up, and it's a very, very handy knife. I haven't carried this one in a little while, but just having it in hand right now is making me fall back in like with it. So I might start carrying this one again. Nice downward angled, again, Americanized tanto, and from tops, wickedly, wickedly sharp, and just a robust carry in a small package. All right, next up, this is a beauty. This is the most recent knife from JW Collab, which is the Jack Wolf Knife Collaborations line, where Jack Wolf Knives, Ben Belkin, collaborates with another great designer slash maker to come up with a meeting of the minds. This one is with Jacob Ginsberg. Jacob creates on Instagram. His knives are immaculate and beautiful little fixed blade knives. So this one fits perfectly with the Jack Wolf Knives fixed blade theme here. DCC style clip here. Really nice leather sheath with the white stitching. I love the white stitching. That's how I want my future Ferrari seats to look. No, I'm not getting a Ferrari, but I can still dream. Dare we dream? Look at this beauty. Got a modified sheep's foot blade with a swedge, a deep hollow grind on this Jacob Ginsberg design. And then my version, my favorite of the versions I've seen, has that black blade with the purple kieranite. Oh, so cool. I said something weird a couple weeks ago. It looks like a velvet curtain you would see in Rita Hayworth's mansion, and I don't know where that came from. Maybe it's my college days activities having a little flashback. Here we have a really gorgeous snake woven fob with a purple anodized titanium bead on there. Just comfortable in hand, a great cutter, really well made, S90V blade steel, and a great pocket carry. Now, this one I mentioned not too long ago is one I actually carry in the same pocket with my folder, especially if it's a lower profile, thinner folder. I'm not going to be doing this setup here, but with, say, the Spyderco Police model or something slender, the two fit together really great in the pocket, in the same jeans pocket together. So I've been, this is kind of the one that's sort of reawakened my interest in pocket fixed blades. I say reawaken my interest. I haven't, it's like that lack of interest was about 2 weeks long because I'm constantly rotating the knives, but this one I'm really happy about. I like it. I got to say, I like it better than all the Jack Wolf Knives pocket carry fixed blades. There are 2 others and they are great. I'm not showing them here because I'm only doing one per brand. Next up is from Concept and Dirk Pinkerton. This is his Siafu. Now, I featured a custom Siafu on the channel here within the last year, and it's the same one that Dave showed off with the Mexican blanket micarta handles. This one is a tenable. I'm sorry, I said Concept. I'm wrong. This is a Tenable, and Tenable is Concept's sort of budget brand, if you will, or more easily within reach. But you search for the Concept Siafu, you'll find this. Really nice jimping on here. You've got a modified sheep's foot blade with that great point. As all Dirk Pinkerton knives are, this could be used as a utility knife, which is what it looks like. And it could also be used as a tactical knife. And with that wicked sort of, what do I want to say, Yojimbo style blade. And we all know how well the Yojimbo does. Look at the sharpening notch on this and the plunge grind. I think that's going to give you a little bit of life on the sharpening if you need to really dig in to this. 14C28N. There's Dirk's maker's mark. Love Dirk Pinkerton's designs. And Dirk is going to make us a custom fixed blade knife. I say us because it's going to be given away to one of you on Thursday Night Knives just as soon as we reach 50,000 subscribers here on the Knife Junkie podcast channel on YouTube. We're at 41,000 and some change. And so we have a ways to go. So I'm going to keep mentioning it until we get up to 50,000. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. But I love this little siafu. And by the way, a siafu is a soldier ant it's a type of soldier ant from Africa. So small but nasty, just like this tenable siafu knife. All right, your sheath, if you order this knife, your sheath will look different because this is one that Dirk made by hand. He gave this to me before the actual production knife was made. So great sheath on this, but I'm not sure what yours will look like. All right, next up is the MW Steelworks Merlin by Michael Williamson. Okay, so this is a drop pocket sheath right here. Again, a super stout and riveted sheath. The rivets help. The stitching, can sometimes be a problem. But this is his Merlin. Beautiful little sheep's foot blade. 3-finger knife, I guess 4-finger, because I can get that 4th finger on that slope on the back. Beautiful desert ironwood handle with 3 different layers of G10 as liners. You've got that sort of Tiffany blue, white, and orange. Nice stout blade. It's about 3/16 of an inch thick, and I was carrying this a lot when he first gave this to me. This was a gift from Michael, and because I showed it off on the channel, and he just said, "Why don't you keep it?" And I said, "Well, okay, I don't want to disappoint." And so I kept it. Really, really nice. I'm unsure of the blade steel on this one, but this was one of the first I ever actually dropped in the pocket without a pocket clip to keep it fastened to the pocket, and it started a little trend. I've already shown one that I do that with, the tops. I do that with the siafu as well, though this with the rivets could easily be placed on a clip, but I like to just drop them in the pocket and pull them out, use them when I need them. Next up, from one of my favorite makers out there and favorite people out there, TKell and TKell Knives. This is the Combatant, and I know I'm not the only one who pocket carries this one because it's got a great size. This Combatant started a family of knives that share the same handle. Think the Adversary with its Wharncliffe blade. This one, I have this DCC style clip, though this is not as good as a DCC clip, and I think it's because that little flange is flat and not standing proud, but whatever. This one, I have it set up so that a good bit of the handle sticks out of the pocket. It does have an angle so that it's canted out a little bit, sort of like what I was talking about with the Beckwith, and I just like to push off of this with my thumb, and there it is. This is the older Combatant. So if you know what the new Combatant looks like, it's got a slightly sleeker blade, a more pronounced swedge, and I think it's a little more elegant than this blade design, but this blade design is still awesome. And this is a great work knife. You get a full 4-finger grip on this, and if you've got big giant meat hooks, you can go and order a new handle, a Sentry style handle grip from him. And what that is scales that fit the handle tang, but extend beyond and sort of clamshell in the back and give you a much bigger grip. So if you're a big guy or you just want more room on that handle, consider the Sentry grips. They make them for a number of different blades over there. Some of them have rings and such. So really great knife is the TKell Knives Combatant 80 CRV2, and this one, much like their newer ones, has a has the mill marks on the bevel. Kind of hard to see, but really well done. TKell Knives Combatant. Next up, from another one of my favorites. Okay, I'm going to stop saying this. I love all these guys who make these knives. They're all great people, and they're all making great knives. This is from my friend Matt Chase at Hogtooth Knives, and this is his mini Ruffian, a pocket Ruffian here. I know a lot of you have loved the Ruffian over the years. I show it off a lot because I carry it a lot, especially in the fall and winter, because it's one of my larger blades to carry in the waistband. When he made this small pocket version, he sent it to me and asked my opinion. Of course, I said, don't make me send it back. And so he gave this to me. Actually, I was going to pay him, I swear. And he gave it to me. So I'm very grateful for that. One of my favorite designs of all time of any fixed blade knife. Now I have it in 2 sizes. And so we got 154 cm, deep hollow ground, acid stone washed. This is when he was still hand filing his jimping. You can see it's ever so slightly cattywampus, and that is in no way a criticism. It's just an observation. Now he laser engraves his etching, and they are perfect, and grippy too. Really nice clip point blade with a long swedge. Some might call it a drop point, but they're wrong. Really nice handle with the Anzo style grip pattern in there. And this handle micarta started off much lighter and has taken on my filth signature, and it is nice and deep. I love this thing. And I have loosened up the blade a little through, or the sheath a little through use. I remember when I got it to retract it from the pocket, you most definitely needed to push off on the thumb ramp on the sheath, but now it's loose enough that I can just tug it out of that sheath without having my pants up around my my navel. So very nicely done. Beautiful sheath as usual. I have a knife coming from him that hopefully, as you see this, has arrived, but it's all tied up. It's at some facility, some USPS facility in Virginia, and I just want to go in person and just storm the place and get it, but I'm not going to go postal. All right, second to last here from another great guy, Michael Jarvis of Auxiliary Manufacturing. This is his pocket Bowie. This is the custom handmade pocket Bowie, one that he made. Now he's got them being made by Miguron, and they are awesome production fixed blades. I actually have mine mounted to the strap of my everyday carry backpack, which, before anyone loses their lunch or freaks out about it, if I were going somewhere urban or carrying it somewhere besides to work in the car and that kind of thing, I would not have a knife out in the open that someone could grab and use on me. But lately, that's where I've been carrying it because I know I'm in no danger of that really happening. But this one is a drop in the pocket style knife. At first, I had a DCC clip on it and had it in the pocket, and then I had it sort of samurai carry with the 550 paracord here attached to my belt loop, and then this just tucked in my waist. But now I just like to drop it in the pocket. Drop it in the pocket. Beautiful recurved Bowie with, again, a long swedge. This one nicely curved, but it still maintains that centerline point. So the point is still super useful for utility tasks. And heaven forbid you're using this in self-defense, it's an easy knife to index that point. I really like this double layer orange and green look. It's sort of a, I don't know, European mountaineering look to me. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just what it evokes in me. This, of course, started the whole coffin handle line of knives from Michael Jarvis and Auxiliary Manufacturing. It's a very, very comfortable handle. I just time tested. I love a coffin shaped handle, and this one just feels great. You can use it in any grip, and it's feels the same, whether it's edge in, edge out, or reverse in either way, edge in or edge out. Actually, I really like this knife as a reverse grip knife because the entire handle buries itself in my hand and there's nothing extra. So if I needed to use it in this grip, it would be very sure in hand. So this is the Auxiliary Manufacturing Custom Pocket Bowie. These are an AEBL steel. Or that one is. Who knows? He might change from run to run. All right, last up, this is by far, I guess I'll say, the largest practical pocket carry fixed blade I have, and it gets a lot of carry. This is the Armis Knife and Tool VSK. VSK stands for very sharp knife, and indeed it is a very sharp knife. It's got that great handle that has the this bird's beak, or not bird's beak, but extended pommel, so you can easily grab it and pull it out of its sheath, whether you're pulling it out in this sort of with the pinky and that sort of standard grip, or in reverse grip. It works really well. And since we're talking about the handle, this one has plain patterning. Oftentimes he makes it with a sort of rock pattern. You've got a double finger partition here, and it works very well on this knife. Ordinarily, I don't really go for the double finger grooves here, but it works great in this case. I think maybe because they're not both curved. One is flat and one is straight. Triangular blade, just very to the point, and I don't mean that as a pun, but I mean it's a very elegant and simple designed knife in terms of the lines of that blade and center line point. It's going to go exactly where you want it to go when you need it to go there. Very, very sharp, and one of my absolute favorites in this whole list, the Armis Knife and Tool VSK by Michael Grasso. And let me just show you the sheath before I dip out. Again, ambidextrous, very similar to the mini VSK that I showed you that I put my Northman in. You got a DCC clip, Discrete Carry Concepts clip right here. You can tell because it's got the little dude, and the topographical back. I love the topographical back, Kydex back on both of these knives. Works great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for following me down this road of pocket fixed blade knives, a really, really popular trend, and I'm so glad it's caught on. I love that people are carrying fixed blade knives now. You don't have to have a big belt knife on you to be carrying a fixed blade. So if you're not into it, check it out. Try one out. If you don't like it, you can sell it to me. I'll probably buy it from you. All right, thanks for joining me. 41K subs. Going up to 50, and then I'll be giving away a handmade Dirk Pinkerton knife. All right, for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.
Thanks for listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review at reviewthepodcast.com. For show notes for today's episode, additional resources, and to listen to past episodes, visit our website, TheKnifeJunkie.com. You can also watch our latest videos on YouTube at TheKnifeJunkie.com/YouTube.